Okay. Hello. In this video, we're going to cover section 1-3. 1-3, and it's going to deal with measuring and constructing angles. Let me see if I could just go ahead and. Yeah, so it's going to be working with measuring and constructing angles. So some of these words might sound familiar, whether there be angle, vertex, and interior of an angle, exterior of an angle. Now, the measurement of an angle is one of the tools that we used in class was that we used a protractor. So either it can go from right to left at 0 to 180, or it can go from 0 to 180 from left to right. So the measure of an angle is usually in degrees, and degrees is usually like the amount of degrees the line is turning. So it could be like this, it could be going like that. Alright, so this could be at probably like 10. This would be at 45. Not this more like 20, 60, and then the little dot above it would be considered the degree sign. Okay, so an angle. An angle is usually created by having two sets of rays, one pointing in one direction and one pointing in the other direction. So these 3 points would be considered non-collinear, and the one really important point on here is that it has a vertex. The vertex will be considered the endpoint that they both share here. So the endpoint here for CD will be C, starts off at C. The endpoint for CE, for ray CE, will be at C. So this is where they start off. This will be considered the center of the protractor. If you extend this, then we will need to measure the degrees that's inside here. So interior and exterior. Interior will be considered the inside part of the angle. The exterior will be considered anything that will be outside of it. Okay, so whenever you're asked to find whenever you're asked to identify where the interior is, it's always between the rays from here. So what else is there? Oh, and the various types of angles that you may be familiar with is you have right, acute, obtuse, and straight. So a right triangle has a 90 degree has a 90 degree 90 degree it has a 90 degrees on it. Acute has anything that's more than 0 degrees and less than 90. Obtuse would be considered more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. And a straight angle will be considered 180 degrees. And as you know, a circle has 180. A circle has 360 degrees in it. Okay. Now, for protractor posture, all it is that we're using a protractor to find the amount of degrees between different angles. So that's all I was saying. So absolute value of the difference of real numbers, the rays touch on the protractor. So this is our formula here. So C minus D or D minus C. I just kept it really simple for be a whole lot faster to pick up. And now here, let's go ahead and go with our examples. This is what I was covering in class today, and let's go ahead and start from 0. I don't have a protractor on me, so I started from counting from 0 all the way to 180. And so we have COA, AOC, AOB, BOD, DOE. Okay. So right here we're asked to find the angle COA. So angle COA. And now you will use a protractor and try to line it up on this. And right here ended up becoming 40 degrees. So here will be 40 degrees, just naturally by just reading it. From 0 degrees to 40 degrees. Now about COB. So C, we're at 0. OB will be at 80. And what about, okay, so, sorry, that's the measure. So the measure will be at, sorry, so let's go with 40 minus 0, absolute value of that, be 40 degrees. COB, let's go with 80 minus 0, absolute value of that will be 80 degrees. Okay, so is So let's go ahead and name the type of angle this is. So 40 degrees, would that be considered a right, acute, obtuse, or straight? So if you said acute, then yeah, it's less than 90, more than 0. What about for problem 2? More than 0, less than 90, so acute. Now about AOB. AOB. So 80 will be, so A will be at 40 minus B is at 80. Absolute value of that would be 40 minus 80 will be negative 40. So right there you get 40 degrees, and you have another acute angle. Now let's go ahead. Now you have 0 degrees, 40 degrees, 80 degrees. We have BOD. So BOD. So it has to find this one, this angle. So we have starting off at 80. So 80 minus 135. Which would equal, what's 80 minus 135? 80 minus 135, I'm going to go with 55, negative 55. The absolute value of negative 55 would be just 55 degrees. So this is another acute angle. What about, we asked about number 5, BOE. BOE, so it's asking about this super long angle. So it would be 80 minus 180. So then 80 minus 180, which would equal, what's 80 minus 180? Negative 100, which would equal 100 degrees, which will be obtuse. Okay, that was the first half of the lesson that we covered on Friday. If you ever picked this up, then it's fairly simple. Then kudos. But you need some practice. You can go ahead and look over the videos. For the most part, yeah. And I'll see you in the second video.